Welcome to Microeconomics Econ 20200 at Kirtland Community College. My name is Ed Durbin, and I'll be teaching this course for the semester. And um, just a quick, I just want to walk through quickly through the syllabus, quick introduction to the course, etc. But I guess first things we'll get out of the way is that my cell number is included in the syllabus, and I'd recommend that you save it somewhere. You can contact me. I would appreciate it if you don't text me. You can call and leave messages at any time. I'm downstate, obviously, at area code 586-871-3224. Or you can always email me, of course, at my Kirtland email address. And this course runs from August 24th through the beginning of December 12th. At any rate, microeconomics. So microeconomics, what we're looking at is, and I'll be very brief with this. We'll get into it in a very rapid manner when we start into the course. So in general, what we're looking at is we're drilling down. Think of micro, of course, it's pretty straightforward. But more specifically, what we're looking at is we're drilling down on markets. We're drilling down on what's called the circular flow of real economic activity. And this is where we get into the who, what, when, where, why, and how, or probably not as much the why, but at any rate, this is where the basic questions are answered so far as an economy is concerned. What it is that we're going to be producing, how that is going to be produced, where it's going to be produced at the firm, and for whom, who is going to be receiving those goods and services, and more specifically, the income that's associated with that. Who is going to be who's going to be receiving that income, that income distribution. Again, we'll be getting into these details as we walk through the course. And beyond that, of course, we'll be looking at the 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 overall picture, meaning, again, this is still micro, but we're looking at it in terms of trade as we kind of go forward as well. And that you'll find that to be interesting. At any rate, so the textbook is McConnell, Bruin, Flynn. And this is an old textbook. This is from, I believe it was 2014, up 2015, I guess, the 20th edition. And frankly, you can get pretty much any edition that you want. I'm not picky on that. The readings that you want to focus on, of course, would be looking at the chapter headers to make sure that you're in sync. So it doesn't matter about the edition. This is the one I recommend because this is what I run the course off of. And it's, again, this is dated, but keep in mind that I do update material in terms of lecture, et cetera, as we're going through. Also wanted to point out my economic newsletter, which I will be, it's available to you at all times, of course. It's just econnewsletter.com. It's a very straightforward. This has been up and running since 2003, and it's a good site to refer to in terms of some of the course material. Actually, pretty much all the course material at one point or another. But also, I use this as an alternative assignment so far as the discussion board is concerned. The evaluation components of the course. This is getting kind of cutting to the chase, the nitty-gritty, if you will. It's based on exams, quizzes, and discussion board. Very straightforward. The exams are multiple choice, true, false, as are the quizzes. The exams themselves are timed, and the weighting of those exams are 140 points per, and this is out of a total of 1,000 points for the course. Quizzes are one per chapter. Those are worth 20 points apiece. And I'll have weekly discussion boards, and the discussion boards are pretty straightforward. The idea, of course, with the discussion boards is for you to interact, for you to take part in the course and kind of take ownership of the material. I found these to be very helpful. In the past, students have said that they've rather enjoyed them. So keep that in mind. This is not a punishment. You have 5 posts a week, paragraph a piece, basically, we're looking at, and covering again the waterfront as we go forward. So again, back to the breakout of the points. This kind of drills down on the exams, 140 points apiece. And the idea is that two things to note here. One is that with the exams, they are timed, and I have the timing set up. It's either an hour, hour and a half, 60 or 90 minutes, I forget. You'll have ample time to complete the exams. Secondly, I want to talk about with the exams is that you have the final exam is an optional exam, meaning that if you're content with your first four exams, you do not have to take the final exam. Having said that, taking the final exam will not harm you. So for example, if you take all four exams and then you take the final exam and you do poorly on the final exam, that will not count against you. However, if you improve on one of the scores going forward, of course, from the first through the fourth exam, if you improve on the final exam, then I'll substitute the lowest grade for the final exam. Anyway, it's just an added incentive, to do better early on, and also to keep in mind that it's not over if you do poorly on one of the exams. The quizzes are online, of course. The entire course is online, of course. But the quizzes themselves are they're not timed, so you can kind of go in and out and save them and so on and so forth until you finally submit. Lastly, the discussion boards. Again, I'm looking at 5 total posts for the week, or for the 2 weeks, the module, if you will. And I'll get into that in just one moment. But again, the takeaway is that with the discussion boards, this is on you. I want you to be participating and involving yourself in those discussion boards. And there there are a fair number of points involved with this, so make sure you keep up on those discussion boards. Okay, so lastly, what I wanted to quickly walk through was the grading for the course. It's pretty straightforward. An A is 94 and above, and then so on and so forth going down. I do curve exams, and I keep that in mind as you go forward, but don't depend upon it because it all depends on how people score on their exams. So the way I have this course set up, the last item I'm looking at is, for example, week 3 and 4. And I have these set up in modules. So there are, I believe there are 7 or 8 modules in total throughout the term, meaning that they're biweekly. Each module covers 2 weeks. So you'll have 2 weeks in order to complete your assignment. So in this case, week 3 and 4, or the second module, course module will be covering chapters 3 and 4, and there will be an exam on covering chapters 1 through 3, and there will be a discussion board. So again, weekly discussion boards, and the quizzes are driven by the individual chapters. And in this case, we'll have an exam again in the second module, or week 3 and 4. So just wanted to quickly run through this, and this is pretty standard, straightforward. But I do need you to make sure that you keep up with the class, because there's nothing worse than trying to scramble to make up for lost time. And frankly, it's something that it's the onus is on you to keep up with the class. And while I can be flexible in some ways, the class, in spite of the fact that it's a full semester, or either 8 or 16 weeks, in this case it would be 16 weeks or 15 weeks, the time flies in these classes. So again, bear this in mind. I have no trouble with you moving ahead, but if you fall behind, that's something that will cause problems kind of going forward. Okay. So anyways, let's have a great class and enjoy. Thank you.